videos. Part 2 to what if Deku was the Blitz Gundam, because it was so well received. Last time we left off, we left with him and Nezu having a comedical relationship, one that Deku was really never able to have with anybody. Nobody in the prison liked him. Nobody really liked this nigga in general. Like, he went through all that crap. Why would you like a nigga that went through all that? And I'm sorry for all the interruptions that we had in part 1. But, yeah. Anywho. These people. But, anywho. So, Deku. He's just messing around with Nezu one day. Like, they're playing video games. Because this is during when in the canon would have been the 10 months of training. And Nezu says, you need to train? And he says, nigga, train? I don't need to train. I can already beat All Might. And quite easily. He says, yeah, but you need your quirks to do it. And he says, nigga, no I don't. I was just, I said, I don't use my quirks whatsoever. My body can just store up the kinetic electricity from previous hits. It's the only thing that happens. And it automatically goes off. He says, oh. So you're basically like a living light bulb? He says, say that one more time, bitch, or I won't have you for dinner. He says, oh, yeah, alright. Human light bulb. Straight up poses as if Joe Tuttle was summoning Star Platinum. All of a sudden, Star Platinum appears. He says, huh? Order? Order? He's wondering where he is. And Deku, he says, oh, you're in my universe. And he says, nigga, send me back to Joe Tuttle. I mean, I am that nigga's, like, great grandfather. I need to see the progression. You mess me with me. But anywho, he says, alright, fine. Go back to your universe. He creates a hologram of him, and it acts like Star Platinum. It's just going all in on this new going to town. What about I need a home or bow? Hey, you can beat me down, and you know as I remind you, motherfuckers, I am surely not from her. Anyway, so twice. Sorry, y'all. I was relocating to my bed. I'm so sorry for all the noise. Anywho. So, Deku, he basically jacks around for 5 months. And then for the remaining 5, he does train all the quirks that One for All and All for One have. And he has gone into One for All and met all the wielders of One for All. Nana Shimura was sad that All Might treated someone that was somewhat his son so horribly. Like he didn't belong. And he says, yeah, it's quite funny. It truly is. How the symbol of peace calls me a demon, calls me unfit to be a human, unfit to be alive. It's quite sad. And they're all like, he didn't deserve what he had to go through. Even though they did help him with the performance cough cough. Anyhow, back to present day. Nasal asks, hey, are you a virgin? He says, no, nigga, when I say I was sexually abused by women, what do you think that means? He says, oh, so you were molested by ladies. Okay. That wasn't clear. He says, nigga, how is that not clear? Sorry if at like the end of a sentence it's like the little gargle sound. Again, if you haven't been keeping up to date with this, I'm sick as fuck. Like, my nose is clogged. I need to go to the doctor on Monday to see what they say about my foot and the rest of my leg, and then I need to go and yeah. Sorry, I'm tired. Anywho, so entrance exam. Deku, our boy, he's already guaranteed a spot in UA, so he's just standing in like the common room where all the teachers are, and like midnight she tries to spoon him, and he says, "Begone, thought." She slithers away into the back of the crowd, because there are like 7 of them, excluding Deku. And he says, "Ha ha ha, you will never get me, thought." The only reason why Deku doesn't like Midnight is because she looks like one of the ladies who had fun with him. That's the only reason why he doesn't talk to her or hang out with her like how he does with any of the other US people or staff. He even hates All Might, and he hangs out with All Might more than he does her. And so she taps him on the shoulder and she asks him why he avoids her. Because she finds it kind of annoying. And he explains, and she's like, oh, sorry if I made you feel a little uncomfortable. And he says, no, you didn't know, it was fine. It's weird. That's so weird. Anywho, so she's like, well, I'm sorry that I made you feel uncomfortable and stuff. And he's like, no, it wasn't your fault. You didn't know. And then she like gives him a really big hug. And he says, nah, okay. And she goes, that's for not letting me touch you for 12 months. And like she felt how cold his body was. Because metal is cold, if you don't understand that. Metal is like one of the easiest things that can be frozen. Like, legit. Why do you think ice is on fire so often? Like, legit. Why do you think? Sorry, y'all, I'm tired. I covered up on my bed because after this I'm going to sleep. I'm skipping class and I'm sleeping. I'm tired, okay? Leave me alone. Anyway, she says, why are you so cold? And he says, I'm literally made of metal. You know, I never thought about this, but I probably could go into a form of what I would look like as a child, or if I were a normal human being. And he basically does that. He looks like this, but with a lot more scars. And they're all like, my God, handsome boy. And they say, can you stay like that? And he says, yeah, but I don't want to. I prefer my natural form. But I will go into this form when I'm doing the deed. And they say, nah, nigga, not with her. He says, no, not with Midnight. She's too old for me. And she says, how old is too old? He says, 2 years too many. She says, huh? If I were 2 years younger, you go out with me? He says, yeah. and it dings in his head. All for One also has a rewind quirk. Because I'm going to say All for One had a permanent copy quirk. So he made a permanent copy of Aries' quirk. And he kept that. And so he's like, wonder if it was his first time using it. And so he used it and sent her body back to when she was a teenager. And like she was a little shorter then, so about like 6 inches shorter than what she is in the main canon. And Deku, he just goes and he says, well, alright, they're the same age as me. Not spiritually, but physically. And she says, huh? What? And she realizes, my hair is shorter. I'm skinnier. I have muscle. Because, like, in the canon, she's lean, but she really ain't got muscle. So she's like Kefla, with like how Kefla has muscle. She's like that. And Deku, he goes, and he decides, you know what? You get one date. One date. And she says, really? He says, yeah. Now I'm, go put some panties on that fit. Because you're a lot slimmer now. And he just points down and she sees, oh, they fell. And so, anywho, blah, 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 and no, it will not. That was just for comedic purposes. She asks, so when will it be? And he says, never. And she says, aw, I just did you a favor. Be grateful. And anywho, Deku, he's like watching the people. And he's like kind of bored. Because there's nothing he has to go down there for. And he's like, why is everybody's a little stronger? I want to go down there. And they say, we should be happy that this year's contestants are strong. Stronger heroes means less villains. And he says, no, that ratio is not correct. The more heroes, the more villains will rise. The more villains will rise, then you get what I mean. Think of something. I'm tired, my brain is shut off. But, so Deku, he's just chilling, and they send out like 3 0-pointers. They're all about to crush this girl with this whitish blonde color. And he goes down there, he catches all three fists. And he says, "Be careful, angry Pomeranian chick. There are things that we all have to do." And then he just blows up all the 0-pointers and he says, "No good day. I hope I see you in one eye." And like, he yawns and he's walking away and everybody asks like, "Are you a pro hero? Is this like your somewhat debut?" He says, "Nope. Just another student." And they say, "No way you're a student. You wouldn't have a hero suit if you were a student." And he says, "This isn't a hero suit. I'm literally made of metal." And they're like, "Sure, prove it." And he proves it. He takes apart everything. And then they all see the only thing that he has. Because he covered up the anaconda. Sorry, I fell asleep. Sorry for the silence, period, pause, type thing. So, he leaves, and all the pro heroes are like, "Good job, Blitz." And he says, yeah. And he sits down in his chair, and he's like, yeah, that does it. And he just says, "Wake me up if there's anything wrong in any of the other testing sites." And they immediately tell him, "Hey, nigga, wake up. 3 of these other 0-pointers are going haywire and destroying everything." And he says, "God." He just creates his sword, and he does that one move that Virgil does. Like, he slightly inches the sword, closes it back, and it just obliterates everything within a certain zone, and he can multiply the zone. He does that to all of the thing's heads. Sorry. This is where I'm gonna leave the video off. Good night.